Y'all, it's story time, so make sure you go get your popcorn right now, get your little drinks or whatever snack you want. We're about to get into something crazy. So I'm at work yesterday, and it's literally my first day back to work in like 2 weeks because of the snowstorm. Y'all already know I was cooped up. I was freaking stir crazy. I was just excited to get back to work. Did my little morning routine. I was feeling good. I was feeling positive, excited, you know. I brought that energy into work with me. I don't know if it was because it was the full moon yesterday. Everything just did not work out in my favor yesterday. The day started off so good, and the minute that I rolled through that door, I don't know what happened. So this lady, she was sitting there from like 7 a.m. to like 9:30. She was waiting for her brother. You know, finally he ended up coming. It was cool. He introduced himself. We were talking for a second. It was really good vibes. And then, you know, they went upstairs, went and did their thing. It was cool, right? So they come back down, and it was so awkward. They get to the front, and I don't know really what. She was like asking for something. But then she looked over in my direction, and she was like, "Oh, Rain, by the way, my brother's number is blah, blah, blah." What? When I tell you these people are old, and nothing against like, you know, younger people dating older people, like you can date whoever you want to date, I don't judge people about that. But when I tell you this man was old, and I'm not even trying to be mean, like, I'm sorry, that's, no. I felt like we were like chilling, having really good vibes, you know. I don't know, that was so uncomfortable. You know, I kind of just brushed it off. I really awkwardly just chuckled. I was like, okay. And she was like, oh, you know, I'm sorry about that. You know, my brother's just a big flirt. I come to work to do my job. I don't come to work to get talked to by old creepy men. Like, please. So like whatever, I brushed that off. Low-key, that's like kind of typical. Fast forward, this is like later in the day now, like literally 30 minutes before my shift. So like everything that just happened was like earlier in the day. Little backstory, there's this group that constantly comes into my hotel. Every day, I think, or at least every other, or maybe it's once a week. So the thing about our hotel is you can't just be like chilling in our lobby. Like you either have to be a guest or you have to be a like person from Starbucks, because we have Starbucks inside the hotel. People bring their laptops, they bring things, like they study, they work. It's not just a place that people go to play and have fun, unless, like I said, you're a guest there. But this one group, this book club, it's just 5 or 6 older people, probably in like their 60s, you know. So like we don't really care or really care to like mess with them. Really have never caused crazy commotion or anything bad to the point of where we wanted to like kick them out of the hotel or anything like that. So like if you're cool and chilling, we're chilling, you know what I mean? Even when I like first started, like they used to like claim tables, and like guests would be sitting at the table where they paid money to stay, like, and they would come into my hotel and kick them out of the table. They'd be like, oh, this is our table we sit at every week. I don't play that shit. You don't do that. I don't care if you come to my hotel, like do what you gotta do, like I said, but you're not about to mess with my guests. And that's when I get upset. But yesterday they crossed a line. Oh, and the whole reason this whole thing happened is because our bathrooms are not like available to the public. Like they're locked. Like we have keys in the front that we give to people. If you're a guest, you could use key card that you have in the hotel to use the bathroom. If you have a reason to be there, you could use our bathroom. But this time it's like 30 minutes before my shift ends. People are already starting to come in to check into their hotel because check-in is at 3. I'm checking somebody in at the desk, and this lady comes up to the desk. She doesn't say excuse me. She doesn't like wait a second until like I like give her my attention or whatever. So I'm checking this guest in, you know, it's his first time there. I asked him, I was like, have you stayed here? He said no. So I was trying to give him a really good experience checking in. Literally everybody's first experience to a hotel is being checked in. If you don't get checked in good, you have a whole weird vibe to the hotel off rip. So I really try to avoid that, you know. I want everybody to have a good experience. I want them to enjoy being in my hotel. I want them to enjoy us, you know. But she doesn't say excuse me, like I said, or nothing. She goes, where's the women's key? So basically I looked at her and I was like, I'm not sure, ma'am, somebody's probably in the bathroom. So she goes and waits by the bathroom. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Maybe 2 minutes goes by. Again, no excuse me, no anything. She interrupts and she's like, there's nobody in the bathroom. I'm listening, I'm waiting. It doesn't sound like anybody's in there. I knocked, nobody's in there, nobody said anything. I don't think anybody's in there. So I'm like, okay, ma'am, can you just give me 1 second? I'm finishing up and then I'll help you, or I'll have somebody give you the key. And then she's like, it's an emergency, my stomach hurts, I really have to go. She's trying to be sweet, but you could tell she's being pushy. Like if you don't give her the right answer that she wants, she's about to get crazy, you know? And look, I was embarrassed because I felt bad for him, because he's literally in the middle of this person yelling over his shoulder, trying to talk to me while he's like, come on, don't do that. That happened for literally probably like 5 minutes. I was just repeatedly saying, ma'am, please give me a second. And every single time I would say that, she just got more and more hostile, more and more loud, just more and more nasty. She started saying I was being rude. She started saying I wasn't trying to let her use the bathroom. Our office door to the back is closed, literally for this reason. So she goes over to the door and she literally is like, hello, anybody there? Hello? So I literally was like, ma'am, please, like, you gotta wait a second. She was like, well, where is everybody? I was like, I don't know right now. Like, we're busy. It literally was just me, my supervisor. The next shift was literally just came in. The person that she saw, it was my ex-coworker's shift. So she literally only came in to grab the key and go downstairs to clock in. She's not even on the clock yet to even help you yet. You don't even know who you're talking about, what you're talking about. Calm down. Like, it's shift change. We're gonna give you the key. Like, we're not trying to not let you use the bathroom. Like, this is crazy. And like, I completely understand if people have like bathroom issues or like incontinency issues or just just in general, if you like, she probably drank a coffee, she's probably got a shit, you know, like I get that. Sometimes you gotta prepare for that. You can't always expect the bathroom to be available, you know. Me, you know, I can say that because I have been through that. You gotta calm down. Like, the situation is only gonna be worse if you freak out. You know what I'm saying? I finished checking the guy, and so he's like gone and upstairs and everything, thankfully. Yeah, so my coworker comes back up and she's like, whoa, what's going on? Because at this point I'm like talking to the lady. She came back from the bathroom because I forgot she went to the Starbucks to get the key, because Starbucks is who had the key. They forgot to bring it back. They always forget to bring it back. And then we have to deal with that. So that's annoying. I was like, ma'am, that was really uncalled for. You can't be doing stuff like that. And she like completely cut me off. She started yelling. She was like, no, you're being rude. There's blah, blah, blah. So basically me and her are going back and forth with this lady because she was literally like, oh, we're from Starbucks. We're allowed to use the bathroom. Technically, no. Like, if you're a nuisance, we don't have to let you in the bathroom at all. So finally my supervisor comes out to the front too. But like, it sounds like it was like a long time this was happening, and it was probably like, oh, where was the supervisor the whole time? I think she had gone to Starbucks because like by this time she heard what was going on. She went to Starbucks to see like, oh, where the key was, because we were gonna give the key to the lady so she can stop yelling. So she comes back from Starbucks and she sees me, my coworker, and the lady yelling. And she literally is just like, whoa, what's going on here? How can I help you? Like, why are you yelling at my staff? When I tell you, the lady completely switched. Right before my supervisor came up to the desk to help us out, this lady literally got in my face a little bit and she pointed her nasty freaking finger in my face. Close as hell to my face. I could have bit her finger off. And she was like, she is rude. She's not letting me do the line. And I'm like, what? Like, that's not even what happened. You're the one that was yelling at me the whole time while I was trying to literally do my job. And I couldn't help you for 5 minutes. So now my supervisor comes over, she switches, and now all of a sudden she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, I don't want to cause a problem. I just want to use the bathroom. They're being rude. My supervisor was like, well, it's all on camera, so, you know, we could see, we saw that you were yelling at them, and so here I am trying to fix it, basically. She was like, no, I wasn't yelling. My supervisor said something, and then she raised her voice to my supervisor. My supervisor like took it back a little bit, and she was like, ma'am, that's exactly what we're talking about. Like, that's not okay. Like, you can't talk to us that way. Then she just went off. Then she was like, oh, well, I need to use the bathroom. It's an emergency. My stomach was hurting. I had to go to Starbucks to get the key. She was like, I had to wait like 5 minutes, and my supervisor was like, ma'am, I'm sorry about that, but like, if you have to wait, you have to wait. Like, there's nothing that my staff could have done at that moment for you. What she was saying is, if it's not available, just wait. Patience. So the crazy part is she went back to her table. Remember the lady I was telling you guys about in the beginning with the brother? She actually was over there too. And apparently she heard them saying, the lady that was up here went back to her group and said, oh, go up there one by one and each of you try to ask for the key. See if you can get a rise out of them. So now you're just being petty. Now you're causing a problem. And now that's an issue. There's no reason for that. He literally came up to the desk. He was like, can I have the key for the bathroom, please? It wasn't nasty. I wasn't anything. I was like, yep. And my coworker grabbed the key, gave it to him. He went to the bathroom, and then he went back to his table to give it to the next person. While he was in the bathroom, that's when the lady came up to us and was like, oh, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up. So after my coworker heard that, she goes over there and she goes, can I please have the key? And the guy's gonna say, no, I'm gonna use the bathroom. And she goes, no, you're not. And she took the key from him and walked back to the front. He's gonna follow her to the front and then come to the desk and say, can I please have the key? And now my supervisor, us, a couple of my managers, the next shift, like there's like a group of us up there now at this point. They were just like, basically that group is being an issue right now and they're causing problems, and we're just not allowing that to happen because we don't want any more issues, you know? I feel like we handled it very well. I feel like my supervisor handled it so good. I'm so glad she was there. So I actually never ended up finding out what happened because I ended up leaving because it was already like 30 minutes past my shift. Like I said, at that point, everybody was there because at that point everybody was aware and I was getting taken care of. I just don't understand how people feel so comfortable and entitled to just like freak out like that on people who are doing their job. And it's not like I was being like spiteful or like malicious or anything, you know? I literally was gonna let her in after I checked him, and I was almost done checking him and she had to wait 3-5 minutes, you know? So that was my day at work. Crazy. And then to put the cherry on the cake, I went home, ordered dinner. I was so excited because we ordered Spanish food. I got my tostones, my patalillos, and the driver picks up the wrong bag. I was so upset, guys, bro. I literally called him. I was like, yo, you picked up the wrong bag. Like, can you go back? He's just like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I dropped your food off already. I hung up on him. I wasn't even playing games. Reported Uber. They gave me my money back. I literally ordered from the same place, the exact same order. The same guy picks it up. Oh my god. I'm telling you, it's because of the full moon, guys. The full moon just messed up my whole day yesterday. Yeah, that was my crazy ass day yesterday. Let me know if y'all would have handled that situation a little differently or what you guys would have done. I feel like we handled that situation pretty good, pretty professionally. Thanks for listening to my story time. I love you guys, and I hope you guys had a much better day than I did.